Alright guys, so it's been quite a while since I've uploaded a video, and that is because it is now SEMA Crunch time. I am attending SEMA with Wild Torquey, and the trailer and the truck going to be on display in a big spot, a feature spot, so that's pretty badass. One thing I wanted to mention was that SEMA is exactly 30 days from today, or I'll need to leave 30 days from today, so I have quite a bit of stuff to do. I'm just now starting on the truck. There's a lot more to do on the car, including a new Hamilton head and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm going to start with the truck because it's the easiest part. See, I got it jacked up and I'm going through some of the air ride stuff. And I'm also adding a Meridyne heater. Now, I've never had heat in this truck, and it's going to be the end of October when I go to SEMA, drive out there from Minnesota. And yes, I'm driving. So I want to make sure I got some heat and defrost at minimum. So I got my glove box pulled out here, and I'm trying to figure out a spot. The heater's in here. Now I'm just kind of trying to eyeball where everything's gonna go. I don't have very much room under the hood here for any sort of festivities. There's the train horns here, and there's not really any room. Cruise control's right there, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. And I also have a 160-degree thermostat, new thermostat. Like it says here, 160-degree thermostat is ideal. And this truck had a 200-degree thermostat in it ever since I built it. And I noticed that the tranny is a little bit soft when I'm at operating temperature, so I'm hoping that the 40-degree difference in the thermostat will help keep the tranny a little cooler, because the tranny cooler is in the radiator. So hopefully that'll help that out, theoretically. So here's the heater that I have just kind of sitting in there. Ignore all this ugly stuff. I'm gonna have to clean this up and clean up some of that wiring and whatnot. But I have this kind of wedged in there for now. I'm gonna try and use the stock defrost vents here. I noticed that this truck has these vents here. I never really paid much attention to that. So I'm gonna try and use those because I don't really want to have to cut holes for the other defrost, but I have that as an option. These are the mounting brackets. Unfortunately, they're aluminum, so they can't really do much as far as modifying, unless you got a TIG welder or a way to weld aluminum. But anyways, they mount on here like so. You can see those 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this mounts on here like so. Now I'm gonna have to modify this. So I don't know if I'm going to have to modify it so it mounts up to the top here, or if I'm going to extend it so it mounts all the way to the firewall there. You can see that there's quite a distance there, so that's really kind of screwing me, I guess. So I got this little snake of tubes ran. So I have the one tube right here, which goes to this side defroster, and you can see it's curled up. Now I'll explain why I did that in a second. And then if you look in here, you can see, maybe not, there's another hose off this Y that goes to the other defrost. What I did was I took and I measured, or I used the hose and I kind of eyeballed it, stretched it from here over to here with a couple inches for the bend up. And I cut it, and then I took the tubing and cut another section that same exact length, so that way, where this Y is off, they're both the same lengths. There's the same amount of back pressure, so that each vent will get the same amount of air. Otherwise, the one with the shorter hose is naturally going to get more air. And then over here, that is the open vent there. And I'm just going to take some of this extra tube and stuff it in there, and then have it come out like right here, but pointed the other direction down, just so it blows down. Instead of straight in the glove box door, because that would be counterproductive. You could also, I suppose, cover this off and then hope that there's enough flow still to come out here and whatnot. Or they do sell a louver kit which directs the air. You know, it's just like a new car where you can open it up to have it go straight out, point it down a little bit to go down. You can see up here I just have that bracket here, which was off of like a shelf, and then I cut it to length, drilled a couple holes in the firewall type deal there. And you can see here are the nipples for the water hoses. You can see that square that I Sharpied right there, and that is where I can run the hoses outside the hood. So you can see that it lines up pretty good, so that'll have no problems running those hoses. And then here's the wiring. Now there's the ground, and then this is for the switch. Wiring up the last part of this kit for the heater, and it'll be done. You can see I have an inline fuse holder here with a 15 amp fuse, and the inline holder was just a little bit short. The cables, or the wires, I had to add about an 8-inch extension, and then I'm plugging it into my fuse box and on a running wire and this side plugs into the switch, and that is all it is. Then the 3-wire harness, which is orange, yellow, and red, goes into the plugs on here, and this switch is just a speed selector, has power in, and then it sends the adjusted power out. Yeah, don't judge me, it's dirty under this hood. It's a work truck. Anyway, you can see I got my 2 heater hoses ran there, and I used a very bit to drill a 1-inch hole for the heater hose. It goes into the intake over there, then it goes back up here, hooks up. Pretty simple setup. I also got a new upper radiator hose because I will show you why. I have been rocking this radiator hose for 4 years. And it's got that big ass gouge out of it. I can't believe it never broke. I was fine with testing it, I was fine with risking it, but I'm going to be driving out to Vegas, so that's not acceptable. So that's going bye-bye. You can see here, this is the stock hose for a 94 Silverado, which is what this chassis is. The old hose actually hit on the fan. Somehow I didn't have it positioned right there. Hit on the fan on the alternator here. So I positioned this one a little bit more, and then you'll notice it has this clamp on it. Well, when it's positioned in this awkward kind of position, it gets a little kink there. So I put on this clamp, and it actually holds it perfectly circular, as it should. So all this is pretty hunky-dory. It looks kind of dumb, but whatever, it works. It's hard to find custom radiator hoses for some of these projects because when the radiator is replaced, as this one is, it's a different radiator, different setup. It's always a struggle. So this one fits good enough. So worst I gotta do, if I just have to have that hit clamp, it's no big deal. You can see before I did something similar, but I just did it with a wire tie, which doesn't work as good. I'm gonna lose about half of my glove box, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't see the bottom of it from looking on the outside, you know, so that's really nice. It's tucked in there really nice and tight. And you can see all this wiring shit. I had to move some of it out of the way because it was wire tied up along there, but that was obviously in the way, so now I'm gonna have to relocate that. Probably be able to still push it up enough and then loop it up into here or whatever. Here's my computer. That normally mounts up there on that bracket, and yeah, I also, while I have this computer out, I actually have a performance chip for this thing. So you can take off this cover, and this is a 94 Silverado chassis, so it's got all that drivetrain. Here I have a Jet performance chip, Jet Performance Products, and then here is a throttle body spacer. This is a throttle body. 94 is a throttle body, so it has some swirling in it. That's nice. More power, better mileage supposedly. It's about 1 inch thick, so I'm gonna install that as well. Made in the USA. So Jet Performance Products, good stuff for that. And I got a couple other things. I replaced the check valves and the compressor lines just because they were sticking open sometimes, so occasionally they leak. And that is not cool. It's annoying as hell. This seat is pretty well ripped up. I got tools and stuff right there, so it's kind of covered, but it's all ripped up. So I'm hoping to get a seat cover and recover this before SEMA. And then I also have my trailer brake controller here, which I got wired in. It's a Dexter Predator DX2, and I got the hitch ball. You can see the hitch ball there, and all that jazz. So it's ready to go. In case a vehicle breaks down, I can do the old swapperoo. That way I can tow with Torquey or the truck. Or if I have a buddy come with his pickup, then I'll have another backup vehicle. The rest of my night tonight, I will be doing the brakes. So I went up to Auto City Classic and got a new master cylinder, because my old one was leaking. God, these things are heavy. So here's a new master cylinder. I'm going to bench bleed this and put it on. So something important to know about these Oracle headlights is you have to switch, on the old style, you have to switch the ground and the low beam, black and white. So I swapped those. You do that by using a little dentist pick and pressing in this slot and pulling out the wire. Another thing, This is the headlight bucket, which goes in here like this and has your adjusting screw. These headlights won't fit in the original bucket because they're so large. So I'm gonna have to go and cut out part of this bucket so that the headlight can seat.
Who the hell are you talking to?
And should be all hunky-dory as far as the truck goes, minus the tires. These tires are junk. I'll show you the other side. It's freaking bald. Check that out, bubs. It's a freaking slick. So I'm gonna burn off these tires at Frankensteiner's in the burnout contest, and then I am getting some new Federal Corriega tires, or however the hell you say it. I don't even know how you say it, but they're by Federal Tire, and I'm getting new tires for the entire rig, including the truck. So she'll be good to go. Holy shit, Bobs. Putting all new tires on everything, including the truck here. Oh, good old work truck. Shout out to Federal Tire. Give me a good deal on these for the show. It was about time on these tires on Torquey, and tires on the truck are definitely bald. So yeah, sweet. Gonna go up to JRM Cycle and Auto Repair and get some tires mounted and balanced. Whoop whoop. Also, this freaking impact is nice. This is the mid-torque M18 fuel by Milwaukee, 1/2 inch. Works perfect for lug nuts, and it's nice and light. So I'm actually gonna be able to drive this truck all the way up there, just jack it up when I get there, take off the wheels right there, mount them, put them back on right there. No tools needed other than that. No air supply needed. Fucking tits. Oh, hey, Jim.
What's up?